why, but I was always interested in floor plans. And,
Okay.
and I've been drawing floor plans all of my life.
I
I'm still drawing them. When I can't sleep at night, I'm doing a floor plan.
Well, your parents must have been worried about you. That seems like an odd.
They must have been, but I don't. And when I was in LA, I bought and sold a lot of properties,
Okay.
and I'd live in them for a while and fix them up and then sell them and move on. And then when I came to Ojai, I always had that in the back of my head. But when I came to this office, I didn't come here to be a real estate agent.
Okay.
I rented a desk from in this office to do something else, but I kept bringing my broker some real estate deals, and he
Okay.
said, "Forget that other thing, just get your license." Which
Yeah.
I did, and it's worked out good. I like it. I like it a lot.
Good for you. What's enjoyable about your job if you were to break it down to why? Because you said you love doing this, but what's the if you had to analyze what it is
Every
you like?
house I go into, I'm looking at the floor plan.
Okay.
That's the first thing I look at. How does the traffic flow from this room to that room, and how does one room relate to the other? It's just something I do.
Okay.
It's always been there. But I think what I like about real estate is that you're helping people make a really major investment. And buying a house, you don't do that every day, and sometimes it's the only major investment anyone ever makes.
Right.
So I really enjoy helping people do that, and having bought and sold houses, I know how important it is to have a little bit of guidance and trustworthy information.
Yeah, Holly was talking about that it's privately owned, and that you, at least in her mind, aren't the kind that are pushing people to buy, that you're really trying to facilitate something
I
that
could
they
be a
want.
lot wealthier, let's put it
Yeah.
that way. But
Okay.
it's okay.
So that part isn't what the draw is, it's the...
Yeah, no, it's just helping people and doing what I like.
Mhm.
I come here every day. I don't take any days off, and I don't take any vacations.
Yeah.
I'm here every day. I'm right at that desk over there, which is good. I try to take Sunday afternoons off, but other than that, I'm here.
Good for you. Do you have any anecdotes about, I don't know, people that you've helped find something that they were looking for that made them happy, or or is it just kind of a general idea that you can tell that you're doing something for them that is worthwhile?
I try to keep in touch with people that I've helped buy homes, and almost always they're very, very happy about it. I mean,
That's good.
I've really not had any complaints to speak of. Just yesterday I went to the home of some people that this is their second home, but they come here on weekends, and they eventually plan to move here. But they just couldn't get over how happy they were about their house.
That's great.
They make a few changes along the way, but they love the location, and they feel they got it at a good price, which it's all part of real estate.
Yeah, and that's something that seems to be, I mean, obviously I've only done a few interviews so far, but something that is a trend, in that when you're happy making other people happy, that there's something kind of special about that.
Good. It was once part of a study, and some friends of mine, in fact, the people that introduced me to Ojai, he was the science director for KCET at that time.
Oh, cool.
And he used me as one of his subjects to do a brain study for a TV series he was doing. And in that brain study, it showed that people who do an act of kindness for someone, it makes that person feel good when they do it. It makes the person for whom the act is being done feel good. But
Sure.
what was interesting in the study was that a third bystander who saw it did something for them too.
Wow.
It generated a certain brain chemistry.
Wow.
So that it's a benefit that goes all the way. It's like a ripple that goes out.
That's very cool. Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah, that's really neat. I have to check that out, because that's part of what I'll be doing on this too. Is there are some exercises and things that have been proven to kind of raise your base level of happiness, or improve your overall well-being. And one of them is that volunteer work, or doing kind of these random acts of kindness, like
Acts
you're
of
talking about.
kindness. Yeah.
That helps. Can you talk about what the Green Coalition is, and what your involvement is with that?
Yeah, the Ojai Valley Green Coalition, their primary purpose is more or less as their name states, and that is their mission is to make the Ojai Valley a green, resilient, and sustainable community.
Neat.
And so we do that by, well, for example, we just, not everybody's happy about this.
Okay.
But we got the city to pass a plastic bag ban.
Okay.
So that when you go to the supermarket, you bring your use your cloth bag or whatever bag,
mhm.
but it's one you use over and over. And no supermarket in town gives out plastic bags anymore. And if
Wow.
you didn't bring your bag, you could buy a paper bag for 10 cents.
Okay, that's not bad.
No, that's not bad.
No.
But some people complain about that,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
But the studies that have been shown about plastic bags, it does tremendous harm to the environment. I mean, plastic in general does,
Mhm.
but so many, millions of plastic bags are given out
Yeah.
every day throughout this country, and they end up in the ocean, many of them, and sea life. I mean, I can go into more detail if I hear about this, but anyway, we got that passed, and now it looks as if our county, along with Santa Barbara County, both of them kind of joining together to help out, are going to pass the bag for the entire county.
Wow.
Yeah, and so there are some countries actually that have banned plastic bags. So, we do that kind of thing. We try to educate people on green, sustainable life. And in fact, just yesterday we showed a movie on GMOs and the harm that they
Yeah.
do. So we do a lot of things in the community to help make people aware of their
Neat.
lifestyle.
That's cool. Is that something that has always been one of your kind of passions, or were you introduced to it when you got to Ojai?
No, I've always been mindful of the environment. I worked for a while with Jerry Brown.
Okay.
Back when he was governor.
Okay.
First time he was governor.
Yeah.
And I was made aware then of the importance of taking care of the planet
Mhm.
as we saw it.
Mhm.
And of course, all of that stuff came to the forefront for me, and I realized the importance of it. My biggest passion, though, is animal advocacy.
Okay.
I am an animal advocate.
Okay.
I think more than anything else.
Okay.
My family's first, animals are second.
Okay.
But in fact, right now, what I'm doing is working with our county supervisor, Steve Bennett, and he has been very helpful. And we're trying to make all of Ventura County a no-kill county, so that animal services in Ventura County will be a no-kill shelter. And it looks like we're making headway. There is a plan now in the county to hire a no-kill director, which is a certain kind of animal shelter director, not, it's specialized.
Mhm.
So if we get that in, if we truly get a no-kill director in, there will be a no-kill county.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
And you get. I'm not even trying to phrase this question, but what kind of fulfillment do you get out of that? What is it about animals that you?
I don't know what it is. I mean, that goes back to early childhood too.
Mhm.
Just not to go into a lot of detail, but I was an abused child. I was taken from my mother and father when I was still a baby.
Oh, wow.
And I think that many times people like that are aware of abuse in others, and with other people or other animals. I'm very much aware of that. And animal abuse is that's why I'm a vegan,
Mhm.
because of what the farming industry does to animals. And so it just makes me feel like I'm doing something.
Yeah.
You have to do something.
Yeah, good for you. Yeah, that's great. I am having part of this journey for me is to kind of figure out some of the things that you seem to have. Like you have a grasp of things in your life that you feel are important or you're passionate about. And I'm lucky because I think I have a bit more of an understanding of that than a lot of people my age. But I know friends of mine back home who are just kind of in this dead zone of feeling like they have no idea what they're doing. Their life doesn't have a purpose. Do you have any reflections on how you came about that? You talked a couple of things about just kind of going back to your childhood, and these were things that you seem to always want to do. But do you have any advice for us of finding out what makes you happy? Is it just an awareness of what you're doing, or?
Well, I read a little bit. I read what you sent, a little bit about your life and your struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes those are the best things that ever happened to us. I realized that had I not had the kind of early childhood that I had, that I might still be trying to figure out who I am or what I want. I think it helps you focus more when you've had that. You at least know what you don't want,
right?
Which is a big step forward.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that that's very helpful to have. No matter how hard it may have been, it gives you insight, and it also opens you to the struggle that other people have.
Yeah.
And it just makes you a better rounded person, I think. So I think those early struggles are very helpful.
Great. That's probably my last question for you, Dale. But we've known each other all of about 15 minutes or so, but you do seem like a joyful person. You have some sort of inner solidness or a part of you that is just happy to be here, it seems, or appreciative of life. Does that come from somewhere? Are you aware of that, or is it something that you just have?
Well, no, it's something I struggled for. I had a friend, this was going back some 30 years ago, I guess, and she had many struggles. And we were close friends, and I think that I kind of helped support her through some of her struggles. And I remember one day she said something that I will always remember because it really struck me. She said, "I just hope before I die, I find some inner peace." And I thought, wow, inner peace, imagine having that. That because that's always there.
Right.
I mean, happiness can come and go. You can be happy one moment, sad the next moment.
Yeah.
But if you have inner peace, you always have an anchor inside. And I think moving to Ojai and really finding out who I was and what I want. Ojai is a very healing place. A lot of people come here to be healed. I came here because I just wanted to get away from the traffic and smog and craziness of LA, which I love it as a big city, but I don't want to live there.
Right.
But coming here, it really helped me find out who I was and what I wanted and define what was important to me and help me zero in on that, such as with the animals. First, my family. I think family is critical, and I work really hard to keep my family close and together and supportive of each other. And then helping animals. It really helped me find out who I was, what I wanted to do when I grow up. I mean, I still wonder about that every day.
Yeah.
Someone told me something Saturday. Said, "Don't believe everything you think." That's a good thing to remember.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for those little footholds in life that help you bring you back to a point of zero. But finding inner peace for me was really critical. And the other thing that was helpful to me, and sort of going back to the conversation we had just a few minutes ago on kindness, is that I went through a period of my life before I kind of found my footing, where I really felt that I was going crazy. And I went through 3.5 years of therapy, which was extremely helpful for me.
Good.
That's when I was in my early 30s. And going through that, I thought, well, maybe I am crazy. Then I thought, okay, I'm crazy. And then I thought, well, what's wrong with that? There are a lot of crazy people walking around.
Yeah.
What really matters is what kind of person you are.
Mm-hmm.
You could be crazy, you could be sane, whatever, but what kind of person are you? And I decided that compassion and kindness was what really mattered. And I began to work on every way I know to make myself a kind, compassionate person. And I looked up the meaning of compassion is to feel outside of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, if I can achieve that, then I'm okay.
Yeah.
And then I decided I was sane.
Yeah.
So I think that finding that inner peace, finding what it is that makes you think you're okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect, but I'm okay.
Yeah.
And then seeing that in other people.
That's neat. I lied and I'm gonna ask you another question now. What were your steps to compassion? Did you have a game plan? Like, was there, when you said, I want to be, because I think that's powerful, and that's kind of what I'm learning in this trip too, is this is something I talked about for, 4 or 5 years, and like, this is what I want to do. And then at a certain point, it was like, talking about it and thinking about it was a lot easier than it was to actually step in and do it.
Yeah.
And so and this is just to go on a trip for a year or two, change who you are and want to be a more kind and compassionate person. How did you start that, or where'd you go?
It's to see everyone in front of you as an important person. Mm-hmm. Everyone matters. Everyone. Mm-hmm. And every animal matters. When I go down the street, I say hello to every dog or cat or bird. I feed the birds every morning. I think the importance of everyone. Mm-hmm. I don't care if it's the janitor or it's a bank manager or whoever it may be. Everyone matters. We all have feelings. We all want to be okay. Yeah. And I think when you see that in people, it's like that saying namaste, mm-hmm. which means I see the light within you. Right. That is helpful in staying in touch with that, is to see the importance in everybody and to see the light in their eyes and to know they have feelings. Just like I have feelings, you have feelings, everybody has feelings, and we all want to be okay. Mm-hmm. So that was how, and if you can keep that in front of you at all times, then it helps you to get there. I fall off the track a lot, but I try to always bring myself back to that.
Wow, that's a very beautiful sentiment. Thank you. That was great. I think that's it, Deb.
Okay.
Thank you so
well,
much.
thank you.
That was really great.